He rejected her on her wedding day, but he had no idea the woman standing in front of him was hiding a secret that would change his entire life. Lily stood at the altar, tears running down her face, and Ethan, the wealthy American CEO she was supposed to marry, simply walked away. Ethan Carter had everything money could buy: a powerful company, luxury cars, a beautiful mansion, and millions of dollars in the bank. But despite his success, Ethan believed one thing mattered more than everything else: his family's reputation, and Lily didn't fit into that world. Ethan first met Lily in a small village restaurant. She wasn't wearing designer clothes, she didn't have expensive jewelry, she didn't even know how wealthy Ethan really was. But she treated him like an ordinary man, and for the first time in years Ethan felt genuinely happy. They began spending every day together. They walked through the village, they laughed, they talked about their dreams, and slowly Ethan fell completely in love with her. Lily didn't care about his money, she loved the man she saw behind the expensive suit. So Ethan decided to marry her, but Ethan's father was furious. "You cannot marry her," he warned, "she has nothing." Ethan refused to listen, but his father didn't give up. He secretly investigated Lily's family, and what he discovered would change everything. Lily continued living her simple life. She woke up every morning in a small village home, she cooked, she worked, and she never asked Ethan for money, not even once. But there was something Ethan didn't know: Lily's grandfather had left her something very valuable. Finally, their wedding day arrived. Lily walked into the little village church wearing a simple white dress. Her eyes were filled with tears, not because she was sad, but because she believed she was finally going to marry the man she loved. Ethan stood waiting at the altar. Then his father walked toward him and whispered 4 words: "You need to see this." Ethan opened the folder. Inside were old property documents. His smile disappeared, his eyes widened. He looked at the documents, then looked at Lily. "Where did you get these?" Lily said nothing. Ethan's heart began pounding, because the property in those documents was the exact land his company desperately needed. Ethan walked toward Lily. "You knew about this?" Lily slowly nodded. "My grandfather owned the land," she whispered. Ethan couldn't believe it. His company had spent 2 years trying to buy that property. Without it, his biggest business project could collapse. Then Ethan asked the question that broke Lily's heart: "Why didn't you tell me?" Lily looked directly into his eyes. "Because I needed to know if you loved me." The church became completely silent. "I wanted to know if you loved Lily, or if you loved what Lily could give you." Ethan couldn't answer, because deep inside, he knew she had every reason to ask that question. Then Ethan discovered something even bigger. The land wasn't owned by Lily's grandfather anymore. It belonged to Lily. Her grandfather had secretly transferred the entire property to her before he died. And the property contained valuable mineral reserves. Its estimated value, more than $300 million. The woman Ethan thought was poor was actually worth more than his entire company. Ethan stared at Lily. "I was wrong," he said. "I love you." Lily wiped away her tears. Then she answered, "If you really love me, you don't need my land." Ethan's father immediately stepped forward. "This changes everything." But Lily looked at him. "No," her voice was quiet but powerful. "It changes nothing." The next morning, Ethan made a decision that shocked his entire company. He canceled the land deal. His board was furious. His father called him a fool. "You just threw away hundreds of millions." Ethan simply replied, "No, I finally learned what is worth more than money." Months later, Ethan returned to the same little village church. This time, Lily was waiting for him. There were no billion-dollar contracts, no business executives, no luxury hotel, just family, friends, and 2 people who had finally learned what love really meant. Ethan took Lily's hands, and they married again. Lily eventually sold part of her property, but she didn't give Ethan the money. Instead, she built schools, clinics, and clean water projects for the village. Ethan helped her because he finally understood something: being rich isn't about what you own, it's about what you do with what you have. And the woman he once rejected as a poor village bride became the person who taught a billionaire the true meaning of wealth. If you believe people should be valued for who they are, not what they own, subscribe to Karma Chronicle.